Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth. I'm your host, the Game Master, and today we're talking about the Justice League. But before we get into that, smash like, make sure you're subscribed, and leave us a comment. We've got a great community here, and it's all thanks to you. So thank you so much for being here. So, with all that said, let's dive in. The prologue to this one takes place in a supermarket where the current Black Canary and her brother, the current Green Arrow, are stopping a robbery. Their mother is Olivia Queen from the Kingdom Come comics. She was the daughter of the original Black Canary and Green Arrow. In Kingdom Come, they just called her Black Canary, but in our game world, we called her Black Arrow. We made her more of a mashup of both parents. Anyways, so as they are dealing with these robbers, a Green Lantern shows up, and this is John Stewart, the son of Liza Stewart. And I know a lot of people are going to have no idea who she is. Her first appearance was Crime Syndicate, Volume 1, Issue number 4. In the comics, she is the daughter of the evil John Stewart of Earth 3. And in our game world, we decided she should have a heroic counterpart. And like everyone in our game world right now, they named their kids after their parents. So the new John Stewart is the grandson of the original John Stewart. And I mentioned this in the comments section recently, but what this really is all about is this is us trying to course correct. In a big way, the game world is healing and getting back to basics. So, point being, the new Green Lantern helps the new Green Arrow and Black Canary take down these bad guys, and then all of them beam up to the Watchtower. And then here, Superman gives a speech about the recent alien invasion and how all the heroes have to pull together, etc. And then when he finishes, the heroes mingle. And what we see are a mix of old, established heroes and new original characters that we rolled up. One of the new heroes is named Vast, and she is the daughter of Aramis Pendragon and Eldridge. And as her name implies, she has a wide array of abilities, including dimension travel and time travel. Some of the more famous heroes, like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, are chatting with her when two more superpowered beings beam up to the Watchtower. And to everybody's surprise, it is Despero, the daughter of an old Justice League villain named Despero. And with her, she has brought her son, who, like with the heroes, was named after his grandfather. And Despero is pictured then in the channel art for this episode. For those who can't see it for whatever reason, he's basically a pink Hulk, but he's bald, and then he's got a third eye, and he's got a fin on his head, kind of like the Savage Dragon has. And then Despera then is an original creation of ours who was somewhat inspired by She-Hulk. Anyways, so several heroes are alarmed by the arrival of these two. So Black Canary readies a sonic beam in the direction of Despera, while Green Arrow gets ready to fire an arrow at her son. But the Flash gets in the way and tells Canary and her brother to stand down, adding that Despero was always opposed to her father, and she has been an ally of the old Justice League for decades. So Despera thanks the Flash, and she tells the Justice League that some new villain is using her father's name. And she was worried that the League would mistake this new guy for her son, and she didn't want him to be attacked. So the Justice League heads down to Earth, checks out the situation, and sure enough, there is an alien criminal from the prison planet known as Takron Galtos. And he was given the powers and appearance of the original Despero thanks to a villain named Rex Luthor. And that is Rex with an R. And as a brief aside, here are the stats that we gave our new Despero. Dex 16, strength 40, body 32, intelligence 8, willpower 22, mind 14, influence 16, aura 14, spirit 18. In terms of powers, we gave him invulnerability 40, mental blast 14, regeneration 6, and skin armor of 4. And we gave him those stats so that he could fight the likes of Wonder Woman, Superman, Martian Manhunter, and Aquaman. And like we've said in previous games, we tend to lean more towards the first edition of DC Heroes in terms of stats for those characters that are heavy hitters. At any rate, so Superman has the highest initiative, so he goes first, punching Despero, doing 17 points of damage. The Flash is next, so he runs up and tries to punch Despero, subbing his super speed for how much damage he does. But by doing that, his own dexterity isn't high enough to land a hit, so he misses. As an automatic action, he then moves out of Despero's reach. Wonder Woman goes next. She punches Despero, doing 13 points of damage. Martian Manhunter swings and misses. Green Lantern hits but does no damage. Aquaman swings and misses. And last but not least, Batman subs an Omni Gadget for spirit travel, self-linked. That way, a solid object can pass through him like a ghost or like Kitty Pryde. That way, the villain doesn't just smear him. Then, for his second automatic action, Batman subs another Omni Gadget for those things we see him use in Justice League Unlimited that are like brass knuckles, but they seem to be electrified. Unfortunately, if he moves over to where Despero is to hit him, he'll be out of actions for this round. So Batman phases out and then stays here for now. On Despero's turn, he pulls out a mother box, which surprises the Justice League a little. Then he multi-attacks them with it. He subs the omnipower of the mother box for dimension travel, and he banishes the heroes to random points in time and space to get rid of them. So Superman and Wonder Woman are banished to a prehistoric alternate Earth where they are attacked by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Wonder Woman lassos the dinosaur's massive mouth and rides it like an oversized kangaroo, which, by the way, is something the Amazons used to do way back when. In the comics, I mean. Meanwhile, Aquaman and Green Lantern find themselves on an alternate Earth that is being attacked by golden UFO-like devices. These saucer-shaped machines are firing massive lasers almost akin to what the Death Star does, and they are boiling away the oceans of this alternate Earth. So while Aquaman meets with a race that lives here that are reminiscent of those old ads you'd see in comic books for sea monkeys, right? The Green Lantern flies up to where these UFOs are and he attacks them by creating spikes inside of them that expand, piercing their hulls. Meanwhile, Martian Manhunter and Batman find themselves on an alternate Earth that is about to be annihilated by nuclear fire. Back on our Earth, the news cameras roll as this new Despero gloats that he's beaten the Justice League. But just then, he gets hit by a quantum arrow, which sadly does no damage. Black Canary hits him with her canary cry, and she says, "You haven't beaten the entire Justice League." As the heroes all start showing up, beaming down to this location, they dogpile the villain. And Vast, the new girl, uses her powers to detect where Despero sent the missing heroes. Then she goes to those points in the space-time continuum and she brings them back to modern-day Earth. And on Superman's turn, he hits Despero for another 17 points of damage, knocking him out. And that brings us to the epilogue of this game session. Despero wakes up on Tacron Galtos without his mother box, so he can't leave. The various members of the Justice League are back on the Watchtower discussing the situation. specifically Rex Luthor. They collectively wonder how many new villains are running around out there now, thanks to Luthor. Meanwhile, under cover of night, Rex Luthor leads new versions of Bizarro Superman, Black Manta, Brainiac, Captain Cold, Cheetah, Giganta, Gorilla Grodd, the Riddler, the Scarecrow, Sinestro, Solomon Grundy, and Toyman through a swamp. Bizarro uses X-ray vision to look through the dark swamp water and see predators like alligators and then fry them with heat vision. Giganta grows a little bigger just in case Bizarro misses one. And she asks Rex Luthor why they are even here. Luthor says for her to be patient, that they have almost arrived at their destination. They round a corner and they see what looks like a crashed flying saucer covered in vines and moss. Luthor tells Brainiac to do his thing, so this new Brainiac uses his interface powers and the lights come on. Giganta and Solomon Grundy pull the weird dome-shaped thing out of the swamp, snapping vines, etc., until once it is freed, they finally realize what this thing is. It's the Hall of Doom. They enter it, and they find plenty of gear left behind by the original Legion of Doom, including one of Lex Luthor's pre-crisis war suits. So Rex suits up and tells the new Legion of Doom they're finally home. And that's where we stopped this game at. We enjoyed playing this one. We hope you enjoyed hearing about it. If so, as always, we would love it if you chose to support the channel by smashing that like button. Check to make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube loves to unsubscribe you and not tell you. And finally, leave us a comment. And from everyone here at the longest running superhero role-playing game on Earth, we hope you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next adventure.